So it turns out I have no idea how to fish a river. Cue intro that I wish I had enough footage for. What's up, guys? I'm going to be talking about my trip to the Harpeth River in Middle Tennessee. The Harpeth is my backyard. Our launch point for this one was only about a 15-minute drive from my house. We fished just a few mile stretch of the river. It did take us probably 4 or so hours. We really took our time. This was my first time putting the kayaks into skinny water. The Harpeth is not a big river at all. It wasn't up super high. It wasn't running real fast. It was kind of dingy. It's not near as clear as it normally is. And you'll see from this timeline, cloud cover was really spotty. It was the definition of partly cloudy. Pay attention on what lures you think you would use, what techniques you think you'd use during this, and I'll let you know what worked, because a lot didn't. If the lure you'd grab in that situation looks something like that, you think like I do, which is cool, but we're both wrong. I forced this thing most of the day. Clean out of the package when I got it. You can see the top there is just beat to heck from the rocks. Man, I forced it way too long. Wasn't getting bites. I think I got 2 bites the whole day on this thing. It just wasn't happening for the spinnerbait. I mean, this thing, small, light colored, looks like it's just got smallmouth written all over it. Wasn't happening for me, especially with that dingy water. I figured easy to see, flashy, be something I need. Not the case. The other initial bait I had tied on was this little hollow-bodied frog right here. It just has one part where the skirt comes out, so I kind of figured it could, maybe look like a field mouse or something scurrying across the water. It was kind of like my big fish bait or my big bait for the day. I did get 1 strike with it. I happened to be wrapped over a branch on the cast at the time, only a foot off the water, but something hit and I just set the hook into slack. Didn't use it for too long. It wasn't really happening either. The first thing I tied on after the spinnerbait wasn't doing very well for me, and after I gave up on topwater, was this little jig here. This actually ended up staying on for a lot of the day. I caught 1 fish on it kind of as a fluke. I was like burning it back to me at the end of a cast, and I hooked up with a smallmouth just out of the blue. But I was throwing it on this rod. I only brought 2 rods. I brought this, which is a 6.6 medium heavy. It has a 12-pound fluoroliter on it. It's in my rod and reel arsenal video. It's set up exactly like this. I think it was perfect thing to bring. I was able to throw the topwater on it without the leader, and then once I put the leader on it, I just said forget it to topwater for the rest of the day, and it was able to throw most things I have pretty well. The Canaan can throw a light bait decently well, so no problems there. But there was 1 bait on the day, 1 lure that took the cake. And that was the Ned rig. This thing was just on fire from as soon as I put it on. I only brought 1 like an idiot. It just happened to be in my box. I had taken the bag of replacements out. I might have had 2 Ned rig like heads with me, but I only had 1 physical, whatever these are called, TRD, Z-Man TRD, I think. I ended up breaking it off on a log eventually. Even though the weed guard is on there, you kind of have to flirt, especially with those small fish. I had to flirt with getting that kind of down as close as I could so I could actually hook into some of these fish that weren't clamping down on it super hard. And they just destroy this weed guard once they come back to the boat. You have to fidget with it, get it back down the right place. 1 cast I just didn't get it back down in the right place, and that happened to be when I was bumping it over a log. It got stuck too deep, snapped, whatever. I was throwing the Ned rig on my new setup here, my number 8 tackle rod, 6.6 medium, and Lou's Tournament Light, the old version, 7-to-1 reel. I had this with an 8-pound leader, I believe. Yeah, 8-pound fluoro leader. And I bought this combo to do exactly this. I wanted to go river fishing more and creek fishing more in general, and this thing throws a nice light lure wonderfully. The thing with the Ned rig, I would just throw it out and just let it bounce on the bottom. I could fish it slower than even the jig, and I feel like it's just a better color than what the jig was for that stained water. But they wanted something, even though it was stained, the water wasn't moving fast, so they didn't want something that was super quick. I needed something to just bounce along the bottom that they could see, and the Ned rig's just the right size for river fishing and going for, you know, basically creek smallmouths. It's a really small river, but I probably had a flurry of 5 or 6 fish real quick with the Ned rig, and then I lost it. So next time I go, I will be prepared. Alright guys, that's all I have for this video. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. Sorry I didn't get more footage from the weekend. But hey, I appreciate it if you let me know what parts of the video you liked, what aspects you didn't like so much. I'm going to be experimenting a lot with the way I'm editing these videos, especially over the next few videos, so any feedback would be great. Appreciate it, guys.